March 8, 2014. It began like any other international flight, but within a few hours, it would become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 prepared for departure from Kuala Lumpur. Its destination was Beijing. There were 239 passengers and crew on board. For everyone inside the aircraft, it was expected to be just another ordinary journey. Families said goodbye. Passengers found their seats. Inside the cockpit, the pilots completed their final checks. Everything looked completely normal. Shortly after midnight, the Boeing 777 lifted into the night sky. The weather was calm. The engines performed perfectly. Nothing suggested that anything was about to go wrong. As the aircraft reached cruising altitude, the pilots made their final routine radio transmission. "Good night, Malaysian 370. No one knew those words would become unforgettable. Only minutes later, the aircraft's transponder suddenly stopped transmitting. To civilian air traffic control, Flight MH370 had simply disappeared. At first, controllers believed it might be a technical problem. Radio failures can happen. Equipment can malfunction. But the silence continued. Then military radar revealed something unexpected. The aircraft had not continued toward Beijing. Instead, it had turned back toward Malaysia. This was no small navigation error. The aircraft changed course by hundreds of kilometers. No distress call was received. No emergency signal was ever transmitted. A modern Boeing 777, one of the safest passenger aircraft ever built, had vanished into the darkness. What happened next would launch the largest search operation in aviation history. The search began immediately. Within days, countries from around the world joined the mission. Ships, aircraft, satellites, everyone was searching for the same missing plane. The search moved into one of the most remote places on Earth. The Indian Ocean is vast. Its deep waters hide countless secrets. Finding a single aircraft there was like searching for a needle in an endless sea. Months later, the first real clue finally appeared. A damaged aircraft part washed onto a distant beach. Investigators confirmed it belonged to Flight MH370. The mystery had become real. Experts carefully examined every recovered fragment, every scratch, every crack, every tiny detail. They hoped the debris would explain what had happened, but the answers remained incomplete. Satellite data revealed something unexpected. Small automated signals had continued long after the aircraft disappeared from radar. Those silent electronic handshakes became the most important clue in the entire investigation. Over the years, many theories were proposed: mechanical failure, hijacking, pilot action, or something no one had ever imagined. But none of them could explain every piece of evidence. For the families of the 239 people on board, the mystery never truly ended. Years have passed, yet many are still waiting for one final answer. The official search eventually came to an end, but the mystery did not. Somewhere beneath the waters of the Indian Ocean, the missing aircraft may still remain undiscovered. Flight MH370 changed aviation forever. It reminded the world that even with modern technology, some mysteries can still remain unsolved, and some questions may take decades to answer. More than a decade later, the final chapter of Flight MH370 has still not been written. Perhaps one day, the truth will finally be discovered. Until then, it remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in aviation history. What do you think happened to Flight MH370?